What if you continues here? Here's my review. Now, some of my reviews for past Clint Eastwood films, or directed films, I should say. Here's my review for his 2006 film, Laris of Iwo Jima. I always keep calling this film Laris from Chujima, but it's Laris from Iwo Jima, which is, of course, based on a true story here. Uh, and it's actually, I mean, in 2006, Clint Eastwood directed two films similar to this. He did Laris from Chujima, which took the point of view of the Japanese point of view of the war, and he also did Flights of Our Father in the same year as well. Even though I probably prefer Flights of Our Fathers, Letters from Ujima is definitely really decent as well. The film portrays the Battle of Ujima from the perspective of the Japanese soldiers and his companion, Peter Eastwood's Flights of Our Father, which depicts the same battle from the American viewpoint. And the two films were actually shot back to back. Letters from Ujima is almost entirely in Japanese, despite being produced by American companies like DreamWorks and all. This was, I believe, this was like Clint Eastwood's first ever like international based film. The film actually scored a couple award nominations like Best Picture, Best Sound Editing, well deserving too. The sound editing of this was really solid. The movie is, does star Ken Watanabe, who's probably the only actor this I actually heard of, to be honest with you. And it's kind of funny that Ken Watanabe is in a Clint Eastwood directed movie because he actually starred in a Japanese remake of Clint Eastwood's film Unforgiven. So I always found that to be pretty cool. Ken Watanabe has always been awesome. I always call him the Japanese James Earl Jones because of how his voice is. I mean, of course, he's been stuff like Batman Begins. He was Inception, Godzilla, Detective Pikachu. He was in Last Samurai. Ken Watanabe could do no wrong. That dude is always on his game. And Last from Ujima is definitely one of his best performances. He, of course, portrays the Lieutenant General Tamichi Kawabashushi. I can never pronounce some of these names. I'm most likely going to butcher these names, so my bad. You also got, of course, where the Japanese troop fought and died there during World War II, and among them are Sagio, played by Kazuchari Namomaya, who's a baker, Baran Dachi, who's this Olympic champion, and Tsurujimi, played by Ryu Kase, is this soldier. And so, like, Tanmushi, knows that he and his men have virtually no chance of survival, and he uses his extraordinary military skills to hold off American troops as long as it's possible. And this movie is really intense. It had some really decent performances, and like I said, I probably prefer Flags of Our Fathers, to be honest with you, but this movie was probably more intense than Flags of Our Fathers. Really showed the point of views of the Japanese during World War II. Great performances by the cast all around. Clint Eastwood directed both this and Flags of Our Fathers really well. Like I said, both of the movies were actually shot back to back, so I always found that to be really interesting. Um, the script was pretty good. It was scripted by Iris Yamashara. Uh, Clint Eastwood actually produced this movie with Steven Spielberg, so that's always like that was pretty cool right there. I mean, uh, Eastwood and Spielberg teaming up, that's always again right there. I mean, the cinematography in this was really beautiful to watch. It did have some really crazy war violence in this. Shows how intense war was back in World War II. But if you guys have never really seen Last from Ujima, give it a go. Not really sure we can find it nowadays. You can probably find it on Apple TV, Vudu, Prime Video. Definitely give this one a go. Anyway, let me lead you guys. Have you ever seen the film Letters from Ujima? Is it what's up? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? And between Flights and Frost and Letters from Ujima, which one do you prefer? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notification. This is Simon signing out.